Good morning on what is a cool, bright and sunny day. It is Friday, November the 4th, and I've got a nice hot cup of tea and a parcel to unbox. There we go. And what I've got in there is that. So let's check it like that. It is the Grindhouse Ultimate Collection, Volumes 1 to 3, with a special feature, The Hoodlums, a collection of scenarios for Call of Cthulhu, available from the Miskatonic Repository. So, the Grindhouse. Grindhouse. A grindhouse or action house is an American slang term for a theatre that mainly shows low-budget horror, splatter and exploitation films for adults. These aren't your typical Call of Cthulhu scenarios where some classy dressed investigator sips tea and pours... Did he say sips tea? I don't mind if I do. And pours over leather books in some wood-panelled library. It's wood. It's almost wood-panelled, not a library. These are burning dumpsters of pure horror where a fleeing private investigator limps through some filthy back alley on a busted ankle, while a howling pack of mutants try to beat them to death with the limbs of their dead friends. In other words, these are not for the faint of heart and are intended for mature audiences only. Player discretion is advised. Now, these are done by Critical Hit Home Video. Nice little logo there. And also the rating of the scenario, and it's available on VHS. All lovely touches. I haven't asked if it's available on Betamax. But also it's different, it's also the format. This is digest size versus the usual standard A4 size. So anyway, open up and we have quite a simple introduction, telling you what Grindhouse is, explaining what the nature of the genre is, a list of inspirational movies as well, and introduction to what the collection is about, and notes for the keeper. Before we get in, and these are all written by Alex Gillott and Ian Christensen, and Alex Gillott you will recognise as the co-author of the scenario Viral, which is very popular on the Miskatonic Repository. We have a warning again because of the nature of the material. Yes, Call of Cthulhu is a horror scenario, but generally doesn't do a lot of doesn't necessarily do a lot of blood and splatter and body parts and that sort of thing. It tends to be it's more cosmic horror. It's more mental than physical necessarily. So we open up with the Crimson King, and we've got a warning here. The content. So it's alerting you again and again. It's making sure that you are aware of what you're getting into when you run these scenarios. Prelude, setting it up, and objectives. The characters have been given a unique opportunity to go into one of the most exclusive nightclubs in the city, and essentially it is objectives and secrets and the cast, what's going on, and what can be encountered in the nightclub. And the Crimson King potentially suggests vampires or something like that, and that would be perfectly fine. In a Grindhouse scenario, it might not fit a Call of Cthulhu necessarily, depending upon your view, but it's all within the tone. So what we've also got is we've got a nice little business card or flyer, and a floor plans of the Crimson Club, and almost a sort of the file-like representation of the plague of the investigator sheet. So that's a nice touch. So that Crimson King is a relatively short scenario, just the one location, and then we have Isle of the Damned. So a classic kind of isolated location that horror's been doing for years and years. It's even occurred in Call of Cthulhu more than once. Again, you've got the prelude, and so we'll just see see if there's any notes on the objectives, but you've got keeper's notes and so on throughout as you work your way through the scenario. Not much in the way of, here we go, objectives. The original goals of the characters are simple. They intend to have a fun and relaxing week with friends. Unfortunately, the goal quickly becomes one of basic survival as they attempt to get off the island alive. Of course, they may develop a secondary goal, destroying the evil there, and so on. And this one is this draws upon this is more does refer back to Call of Cthulhu, and a classic story and film at that. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you've got a laboratory there. I'm covering up the name there. And again, you have the file-like character sheets, and this is for the pre-generated characters. And I've got I've got a visitation from the cat who is not ours. I didn't know he was interested in Grindhouse. Anyway, on with the unboxing. I've got to that's Eye of the Damned, and we have the Dark Brood. Again with the prelude, set objectives, which he's not making things easy. The original objectives are for the camp counters to make sure the campers have a safe and wholesome for summer fun, but when the story opens it seems as if that's not going to happen. It's now to find out what happened to the children and get them to safety. And you've got a list of the children there. And again, you've got an enemy there, an avatar of Shub-Niggurath, and a map of Camp Echo Lake. And they are the pre-generated investigators or player characters. Jackknife. Okay, so you're really looking, first off, you're looking at something like Duel, one of the first films from Steven Spielberg, as kind of an inspiration for this. Objectives: the main goal for the characters is obviously to survive and escape from the cult. They have no idea why the psychos are after them, but soon things become apparent. There's a lot of them. There's some kind of religious fanatics, and they're willing to die for whatever hell it is they worship. So yeah, this is going to be something akin to sort of like a road movie, but a road movie from hell. Yes, he's being very insistent this morning. This is a little bit. Here we've got the jackknife, and this is not dissimilar to one of the other scenarios that Alex Sherlock has done. Set in the Texas Panhandle, original Grindhouse scenario, but again, this one is much shorter. So Hell Block 5, and here we've got another classic kind of Grindhouse setup, a prison. And the objective, the goal for is for the characters to live long enough to interrupt the magic that's holding Cell Block 5 in the Dreamlands. So this is going to be a Grindhouse horror meets the weirdness of the Dreamlands, and deals with all of the horrors that can bring. Fright Night for first night. So this objectives. The Roth Manor was previously owned by a serial killer who serves an outer god, and this is a loose sequel to Hell Block 5, but playing the previous scenario is not required. So the idea is for the girls or player characters to manage to stay alive and stop the serial killer's plan. And here we've got a little basic overview of the threats. Yes, hello. We've got some new spells. So we got in here, and we've got full floor plans of the Roth Manor. nice illustrations as well, and the pre-generated investigators. And then the last scenario in here is going to be the hoodlums, which appears to be set in some sewers or some tunnels. This is the bonus scenario, and essentially they're investigating some disappearances involving Mad Doctor and a servant. Involved somehow connected to Starkweather's Sanctum. I have actually play tested this one, and it's an interesting little scenario that we about managed to survive. And here we've got the cast and even better illustrations here of them, because these are really well done. There's some quite monstrous encounters to be had within the manor, or the Starkweather Sanctum. And Starkweather has nothing to do with the Starkweather scenario. That was something I sort of suggested when I studied. Oh, that's an interesting name. I get more images of the threats. And of course pre-generated investigators there. So that's everything in the Grindhouse Ultimate Selection or Ultimate Collection. This is volumes 1 to 3 plus a bonus scenario. Now this is really essentially is a collection of one-shots more than anything else. Get these out on a horror night, have a blast with them. They're not really, unless you're doing some kind of, I don't think they would work as a campaign or really work very well in many campaigns. But yeah, if you're looking for sort of like a more physical, bloody splatter horror experience for Call of Cthulhu, then yeah, I would look at the Grindhouse collection. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you'll see me out here with a parcel containing a book or game which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do hit that subscribe button down below. In the meantime, thanks again for watching another unboxing in the Nook. I'll be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.